Hello and welcome. So in this video, we will demo a step-by-step guide showing Azure Site Recovery for disaster recovery and demo replicating and failing over a virtual machine from Azure UK South region to North Europe region. The virtual machine will be installed and running in subscription 4 in a hub and spoke network topology. The hub virtual networks acts as a central point of connectivity to many spoke networks, so the hub can be used as a connectivity point to your on-premise networks as the diagram shows. The spoke virtual networks pair with the hub and can be used to isolate workloads. So the hub hosts services that can be consumed by different workloads hosted in the spoke virtual networks. So we're talking about shared services such as Active Directory domain services, DNS, firewalling, VPN gateways. They exist in the hub network. So this all saves on costs and management, centralising services that can be shared by multiple workloads in the spoke networks. So we deploy individual workloads in each spoke, and we can add spokes over time to scale and connect back to the hub central services. So the virtual machine is run in the UK South region, and it's running CentOS, which is a free Linux distribution with Apache web server installed. So we will build the CentOS VM from scratch in the Azure portal, and then we will connect using SSH to install the Apache web server. Then we can connect using the public IP address to the web server and browse the default website to prove it's all working correctly. Then we will set up ASR Replication to replicate the VM for disaster recovery to Azure North Europe region. We then perform a test and real failover of the VM from UK South to North Europe and connect to the website via the public IP in the North Europe region once we fail over the VM. In a hub and spoke network topology model as shown in the diagram, to connect to the VM once we fail it over, spoke 2 virtual network where the VM resides in North Europe would be isolated with no VNet peering to the hub virtual network until DR failover. And then once DR is invoked, then spoke 2 in the failover region, North Europe, would be connected via VNet peering to hub 2 in North Europe. This would then enable on-premise connectivity via the VPN gateway and routing through the hub in North Europe to the spoke 2 and the virtual machine that has been failed over for DR. So let's get started by creating our VM for replication. Please subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell to receive future updates on up and coming videos. Thank you. Okay, so let's check to see if we have a network security group applied to the VNet in UK South where the VM will reside. This will allow us to open ports on the firewall to connect to the VM over the internet. So let's go to the VNet, subnets, and click the security group that's already been created. If you don't have one of these at the moment, we show you how to create one later on in the video once a VM has been failed over to the recovery services VNet. So for this demo, we have port 80 for HTTP and SSH port 22 open from the internet. So this is only advisable for this demo, and for a live production environment we should use HTTPS, and we should lock SSH down to a range of IP addresses rather than exposing the VM to the whole of the internet for security purposes. Okay, good. So let's create the CentOS free Linux distribution virtual machine. So we go to VMs, we choose a resource group, choose our VM name, we choose a region that the VM will reside in this case that's UK South. We select an image, and in this case we will choose CentOS 7.9, the free version. We select a VM size, and please get approval if you haven't already, as you will be billed for this VM that's running. So we'll authenticate using SSH, public key rather than a password, and allow SSH so we can connect to the VM using putty. Disks we leave as default. Virtual networks, we don't want to create a new one, but we want to choose our existing VNet in UK South where the NSG is also applied. So we select the subnet and we want a public IP so we can connect. And as we have a security group applied to the VNet, we will select None here. And then the rest of the tabs, we just select the defaults for this demo, and then Review, and then Create. So verify and confirm how much this is going to cost you to run, and if you're happy with the costs, click Create. And then we can then download our private key to enable us to connect to the VM. Okay, so we use putty key generator to load the private key we downloaded earlier, and then we save this private key to use in putty for authentication. Then in putty we go to SSH auth, and then we specify the key generated in putty generator. We add the public IP address of the VM that we created to connect on port 22. Okay, so let's connect to the VM on the public IP address. So the username in our case is Azure user. That will now authenticate with the public key without needing a password. So now let's install Apache web server using the commands as shown. And then we start the service to allow us to connect via HTTP. We copy the public IP address again, and then we can check whether we can browse the default Apache website over the internet and to see if Apache server is installed and working correctly. Okay, good. So now we have our VM up and running. In the next section, we will now set up Azure Site Recovery to replicate this VM for disaster recovery. So let's set up ASR to replicate the virtual machine. So we go to the VM and we go to disaster recovery, and we will choose the target region of North Europe. We click next, and then here we can see the source and target subscriptions, resource group and virtual network it will create. Note the appended ASR for the virtual network name to be created in the target North Europe region. We also leave the storage settings and replication settings as default. And then click next to review. So please note that Azure Site Recovery is billed based on a number of instances protected, so you will be charged for setting up disaster recovery here. So if you're happy with all the charges, click next to start replication. We can then see that the resource groups are then created in the target North Europe region. In RG1 ASR we have our virtual network for Azure Site Recovery, and the Site Recovery Vault is also created. So when we go into the Site Recovery Vault, we can see our VM has been replicated under replicated items. So next, let's perform a test failover in the next section. Okay, good. So in our Site Recovery Vault, we can see we have a replicated VM that's protected in our DR site. We can see various general options for compute, network and disks. Let's go back to the overview page and we'll perform a test failover. So we confirm the direction. In this case, it's from UK South to North Europe. And we choose a target virtual network. And if required, we can choose a recovery point. We will use the latest recovery point and we click OK to start the test failover. We can see under VMs we have a VM name with test appended at the end. So this also leaves source VM up and running in UK South. We don't have a public IP address assigned yet to our DRVM in North Europe, as we do for our source VM in UK South. So next we will create a public IP for the DRVM in North Europe. Okay, good. So we have our test DRVM running in North Europe, and to confirm it's all working, we will create and apply a public IP to this VM. So we go to networking, we click on the network interface, we go to IP configurations, and then we associate a public address to this VM. So let's browse to the Apache website of the failed over VM, but before we do, we need a network security group created to allow the ports open on the firewall to connect over the internet. So for this demo, we have ports 80 for HTTP and SSH port 22 open from the internet. So it is only advisable for this demo, and for a live production environment we should use HTTPS, and we should lock SSH down to a range of IP addresses rather than exposing the whole VM to the internet for security purposes. Copy the public IP of the test VM and we can see if we can browse to the website. So yeah, that's all working as expected. So our VM was brought up and failed over successfully as a test in the DR region. So let's now clean up the test failover and we can delete the test VM. And as we can see, the test VM has now been deleted. So let's now perform a real failover. So this is in the scenario where UK South region has failed for some reason, or we have issues with the VM itself. So we choose the failover direction and we will tick shut down the VM, and we can choose a recovery point here. So we could go custom, however we will use the latest recovery point. So click OK to start the failover. So as you can see, this stops the original source VM in UK South and it creates a new target DRVM in North Europe. And we will also assign a public IP to the VM. So browsing to the Apache web server, it shows the default Apache web page and it confirms that the VM is all working as expected. So our VM was brought up successfully as a real failover in the DR region. So now we commit the VM, which, as the message states, you cannot change the recovery point of the VM once committed. For this demo, we are happy that the VM data is up to date and recent to meet the recovery point. So if you want to use a different recovery point for the VM, we can select change recovery point on the essentials page before you commit. But please note, when you do commit, this deletes all the available recovery points for the VM in Site Recovery, and you won't be able to change the recovery point. So when you're satisfied with the failed over VM and it's happy it's met your recovery point, select commit on the overview page to finish the failover. After failover, we can then reprotect the VM in North Europe so that it replicates back to the primary region UK South. So this was successful and completed with no issues. And then we are prompted in a message for a test failover again to prove this is working correctly. So we can then perform a test or a real failover as before. Okay, so to change or create any new replication settings from the default, we go to the Site Recovery Vault in North Europe and then Site Recovery Infrastructure. So here we have many options for network mapping, and we can change or create new replication policies. Okay, so that's it for now. Hope that helped. Let's hear your comments below, and please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already and hit that notification bell. It helps the channel grow and you'll receive notifications of new content straight away. So thanks as always and take care. See you all soon. Thanks. Bye.